And I learned that without being able to communicate what you're trying to put out there and relying on your team to make things happen, you're not going to get that far.
Hey, welcome to a podcast where dreams meet determination and success is just around the corner. I'm your host, Suzanne Taylor-King, and I'm here to help you unlock the full potential of your business and your life. Welcome to Unlock Your Way with STK. Let's unlock your path to success together. Good morning, everyone. Suzanne Taylor-King here for another live episode of Unlock Your Way with STK. And very apropos today, we are here on the 5th of July live with Federico Martinez. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, thank you so much. Hey, 4th of July, it's July 5th, but guess what? You got to represent. You know.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Well, this is really exciting, and I'm so excited once I saw your decorations and your tie today because of your interesting little bit about your story. Not only are you a leadership coach, you're a Grant Cardone certified coach, you're Ted Maxwell certified coach, like your background in the military, just super impressive. And meeting you personally, you stand out. You stand out with your energy. You stand out with your presence. And I don't know, that's super inspiring to me. And then you show up like this today, America proud. And I just really want to get into not only your background, but how you're serving now, being retired from the military. So let's start off first with a little bit of your story, how you got into the military in the first place.
Oh my goodness. It is a kind of a long story, but let me try to do my best to condense it in like about 3 minutes or tops. So I am the first officer in my family, and my family had served in wars from World War II all the way to, the last war, OIF and OEF, or Operation Iraqi Freedom in Afghanistan. So I'm the first one, and officer, but I have enlisted family members, personnel that were enlisted that served, like I mentioned, in all of the wars. And it always intrigued me. Growing up, I was just a kid in the. I'd call myself a hillbilly from Puerto Rico, but I live in the mountainous area of Puerto Rico, so we just like to play, with sticks and chase each other and just play Rambo. Basically, that's when we grow up watching Rambo and Arnold and all Commando and all those things, right?
Yeah.
So I always have that intrigue me, and there's an uncle of mine that particularly came back from Desert Storm. And he brought back with him, and we can say that he's no longer in the service than anything. He brought with him some, let's call it tokens. He gave me like a Rambo knife, a military flashlight, a bullets, and you're like, oh my God, what is this? So it just hyped me up. So 1995, I was about to enlist in the Marines, and some things happened there. I said, no. That's not going to happen. Basically, the Marines were hazing soldiers in boot camp, and I said, I'm not going there. I'm going to college. So spent a couple of years in college, and in 1998, I was in a college that a good friend of mine ended up being with best friend, introduced me to the Army ROTC program, and I ended up signing up and enlisting in 1999. September 9, 1999 in the Air Reserves. And in 2001, I commissioned as a second lieutenant, as a communications officer in the Army. And it culminated my career in December 2022. A couple of deployments here and there. And but yeah, I'm grateful for that. So yeah, it happened pretty much by accident, joining the ROTC. There's a friend of mine that told me, hey, do you want to do exercise in the morning? They have this thing going on at 5:30 in the morning. I show up, and it ended up being the Army ROTC. And
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't looked back ever since. So, yeah.
Well, I was intrigued by your specialty in the Army. And can you talk about that a little bit?
So communications officer. So
Mhm.
what basically we manage the responsibility. We're responsible for managing all communications related to organizations and setup. So um, let's put it in simple terms. Communications as internet, voice, data, obviously. So when you go and deploy it, it's even more exciting and more what you would call it more important. There's a saying that we say we have in the comms world, and as you can talk about us, but you can't talk without us. Because when things go bad with comms, oh my goodness, people just lose it. But when everything is good, you're the hero. You're responsible for making sure that your leaders and all the ones that need communication get it, and it's has to be almost flawless and perfect in every kind of situation because your lives depends on it.
Well, isn't that the truth with every type of leader, whether it's military or what you're currently doing now? I saw the correlation immediately doing my research on you, that communication really is the backbone of leadership.
That's correct. Oh yeah, you got to clearly communicate your
Mhm.
intent. You gotta know how to communicate with other people. And that is you cannot use a blanket sheet in the military for everything. And that's one of the strengths I guess that I have that helped me succeed for as long as I did in the military. I served for over 21 years. I
Mhm.
didn't make it to 21 years and the rank of lieutenant colonel by myself. At the beginning, it was a little bit rough because, again, I'm getting my feet wet, new environment, and everything. But then I figured it out. I caught up pretty fast, and I learned that without being able to communicate what you're trying to put out there, and relying on your team to make things happen, you're not gonna go. You're not gonna get that far. And a lot of people that probably were more talented, smarter than me, and 100 times more potential than me fell the cracks because they didn't have that. It was like a me thing versus a we thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm grateful for that. If you cannot articulate that and you don't know how to use your team with their strengths, you're stuck. You're not going to succeed.
Yeah. And it's so true. The leaders that I've worked with, whether they are a coach or a business owner or a community founder, that foundation of being able to communicate mission, values, maybe it's even down to strategy and tactics, SOPs. If they can't communicate those things, people can't help you with your mission. And
Yeah,
it
there's the thing. There's the communication in the delivery of the
no.
message.
Yeah.
So it has to do. We can say we can have the same script, but you're gonna deliver it a different way that I deliver it.
Right.
There's the tone. You gotta tone it to the recipient. There's a couple things that people think to overlook when you start communicating with others that they are huge eventually.
Yeah. It really is about communicating with your team or your audience. Like if you're a content creator and you're communicating with your audience, or you think you're communicating with your audience, and you're talking to problems they don't have, it's impossible to get it to land and to register. Um, let's talk a little bit about how you actually figured out that after you retired from the military, how did you figure out where you wanted to go with your knowledge base, with that intellectual property that you walked away from the military with?
Yeah. So I haven't 100% figured it out, but I know that when I retire, I have this saying is I'm retired but not expired. I even have a
Mhm.
shirt that retire, not expire.
I love that.
Yeah, because I think people think that when retire means you're done. Um,
Right.
in the military, retirement should be, you know, your next step, your next chapter to make greater things.
Yeah.
And I don't do that. Some they just want to ride off and disappear and do absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
But we spend so much time and we have so much experience that we can share with others and make others better. And that's what my passion is. It's all about adding value and make others better. Um, when you try to use your military skills and add the skills that you acquire in the civilian sector or certifications here and there, there's something special that we can do with
Yeah.
those things, or, you just sit down. I say, hell no, I'm not going to sit down on the couch and gain a little weight and get unhealthy because I served 21 years and I got a good pension. No, that was not me. So I said, there's more to this. There's a lot of people out there that need help, and we're working on.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm so passionate about people like you. My dad was someone like you who had a shorter career in the military, but he struggled to find himself, when he left. And I think that's part of my why, that part that drives me to help people, especially those over 50 who want to reinvent themselves. And that's basically what you're saying. You've taken that knowledge from the past and your current, certifications and combined it to be something really special for people. And I think being of service, whether it's military or after military, is all the same thing. Leadership is being of service to your team. What does that mean for you as a human? Let's forget military. Let's forget job or current. What's that mean for you as a human to be of service like that to others?
So growing up, and this is something that I just recently just hit my mind. I was like, wow, why am I so obsessed with helping people and serving others? And I just observed my family members and my parents, very humble backgrounds and church people, and always willing to serve others without no questions asked. They give you without having. That type of people that I have two pens. I'm gonna give you both of them if you need them to. I'll
Right.
figure out later.
Yeah.
It's my growing up. That's what I saw. I saw my family members are like that. We're very humble people, and we just like to serve others. And what fulfills me more is watching others succeed,
Mm.
and having a role in that success, without even asking for it. You know what I'm saying? Is like you serve, but you're not looking for like, oh, that he did that because of me. No,
Yeah.
you just do your part and get out of the way and let them succeed and clap. And I have experience in that. I have people reach out to me years and years and years after we served together, thanking me for things that I helped them do, and without even me knowing it. Like, wow, this is that, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what when you get that special email, text, message is amazing.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And
You,
you're not
you
gonna
never
find that.
know that. You never know that ripple effect, or how long, um, yeah, between when you affect someone and the result that brings to someone else's life. It could be 3 minutes, it could be 30 years, but going out there and planting seeds every day, it's always been a mission for me.
Yeah.
Since I was in healthcare, right? It was plant those little seeds every day. You never know when it's going to grow, or you never know when it's kind of like karma or the universe. It's going to come back to you. But we don't do it for the comeback. We do it because it's so great to serve other people.
Right. And it's like this podcast, your podcast, and your past podcast that you have. Someone is going to search the web and find a podcast that's going to resonate with them.
Yeah.
And you just find it like years ago, it's been there. And like, wait a second. Oh my God, it hit me.
Yeah.
It's just helping without knowing. You never know who's watching, how is people going to affect, positively impact lives. And so it's amazing.
Such an important reminder to not be driven in today's day and age of distraction and social media, being driven by followers or likes or, oh, how many people were at your event. I think it's such an important reminder to be driven by the service, and you never know who's looking or watching or listening. It's not always about the thumbs up or how many people are following you. Because I personally know somebody with 50,000 followers on a platform, and they've never made a dime from it. So that's not what matters in a business. And I think being an example of that is really key. So how do you stay in that mindset? I mean, because military mindset is huge. How do you stay in that mindset of service and not get caught up in the, I guess, the vanity metrics of, who I'm supposed to be online versus who I am right here? How do you separate those two?
It's simple. I'm just one person. I don't have two personalities. What you see is what you get. I'm not Fico online and then Fico in person. Is different. What you see is what you get. My core values are too strong to be broken and deviate from other things. So I know I get up every morning with a mission of trying to articulate a message, make a post, or anything that's going to inspire someone that really needs to see or hear it. So it's not going to break me or persuade me to do something that it's not within my core values. I'm pretty grounded and planted with what I'm doing.
I like that. My Stoic philosophy reading this morning was all about doing what's hard, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. And it's why I don't get swayed into doing things just for the money, because I don't know, there's something there for me that every time I've done something to make money, like I'm going to create this thing, or I'm going to do this thing just for the money.
Yep.
Never works.
It never works. And we're finding out the hard way too, think that, and money will come eventually, but just going to be in pure transparency and honesty. I made some mistakes because I was trying to go and trying to find the fastest path to this is not navigation in the military, and when you navigating, you put your plot and okay, this is the shortest route. But in life and to succeed in an environment and become successful in this, it takes time. It's not a straight line. It's not a straight line. It is the weirdest thing. You're going to go in circles, going back, reset, take a knee, bent out, cry, scream, whatever. And then you get up and go again and do it again.
Yeah. So. You just described entrepreneurship perfectly. It really is that. I don't know how many times you've tried to fast track things. For me, it's always, okay, what's the shortest route to doing XYZ? And if I think someone else has the answer, I'll pay for the answer. The answer has never been with someone else. It's always right here. And that's the hardest thing to remember as an entrepreneur when you're getting impatient for that next big success or that next win. how do we stay grounded in the realizing that the journey is here, not somewhere out there?
I know. So yeah, I listened to I forget which podcast was this, but there's an individual talking about the levels of why. Why are you doing things, right?
Yes.
And you got to go deep in why you're doing X, Y, Z, and continue to ask yourself, you want to get there X this fast, and you just why, and then the answer to that is just ask again, why do you want to do that until you find the real cause of your why? Like, oh my goodness, and the real answer. So, do you really need to do that? And
Yeah.
take everything 360. Life is 3D or 4D now. Not, it's not one dimensional. There's a lot of things that can go right or wrong, but you got to think through it. And the military, we're great of planning and executing. And we put the time, and we spend more time planning and then a little time executing, because if you do the planning properly, you're just going to execute flawlessly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a piece from your military background about making a plan, but always having a plan B or C, or I can't remember what it was called, but like a failure protocol? Like, okay, if plan A doesn't work, you're going to do this, this, and this. Contingency plan.
The contingency plans. Yeah. Oh, you got to think about it. You know, the primary alternate, they call it PACE plan. So primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. So there's 4 options right there. This is that you can pick in case things don't go your way. So you always have that in the back of your mind, and always engage and make sure that everyone is clear that this is how you're going to we are going to react if things don't go our way, and that's discussed as a team. So.
Yeah. I see that as being so valuable for a CEO, a team leader, no matter what profession. But tell us a little bit about the people that you serve, your dream clients, and how that military planning background actually helps them so much.
So dream client is people in leadership positions, or entrepreneurs that are struggling primarily with leadership challenges within their organizations, and everyone is challenged by that. Everyone has that issue, and again, because there's so many elements that affect leadership, especially in big organizations. How do you impact all the way to the last person? If you got 1,000 people or 100 people, whatever it is, how do you talk to everyone in that chain so everyone is in the same sheet of music? So, like I mentioned earlier, if our success rely on your team, unless you're a solopreneur, it's all on you. But if you're running an organization, you depend on your team. And keeping in mind that your team do not quit the organization, they quit their managers and leaders. So you got to be very strong on that. What was the other part of the question?
Well, I just saw it helping so much a leader become somebody the team wants to follow versus somebody they have to follow. And I think that planning piece is really key. Yeah. Talk a little bit about what that looks like for you with a client. What's an engagement look like with them? And that trickle down effect. I want to hear more about that. You said, so the top down, right?
Yeah. So I've been at the end of bad coaching or not coaching. So the number one thing you have to do with a client is connecting. You got to have that chemistry. If you don't have a connection with a client, you're not going anywhere. And you can tell right away if you're a fit or not. And with the mentality that you're trying to help everyone, I have a vast network of individuals that I can reach out and say, yeah, this will be a better fit. So the first thing is connecting with the client, getting that trust with the client is essential. The client's not going to tell you all the 100% of their problems. They're going to tell you 25.
Yes.
And then you start like peeling the onions, because again, that's what we do. We're humans. We just hold back. If I don't trust you, I'm not going to tell you everything. Well, some people will tell you everything, but most people don't. So connecting, gaining the trust, and then working on a plan that works for the individual, not doing not doing what you call it, everything for the individual, but for making the individual do it for itself, like discovering the solutions with the invisible hand behind it, and guidance. That's how the only thing that works. If you do it for them, then you're just creating nothing. So
truly, I know early in my health coaching career, I started out as a health coach 15 years ago, and I used to try to do it for people. And maybe it was mental, because I couldn't, make someone eat right or show up for exercise. But if somebody didn't want it bad enough, there had to be, like you said, that why. And I wish I had known that 7 layers deep activity. I think it came from Tony Robbins the first time I heard
I
it.
believe it's Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
I think it was
7 layers deep, right?
Yeah.
Take your why down 7 layers. And I didn't do that with my clients in the beginning. And, if you don't have a clear why for fitness and exercise or business, then getting up every day and doing it isn't going to happen. There's going to be some saboteur there ready to say, donuts for breakfast today. It's always there. It's always going to be there. Your why has to carry you through. And I think that really, in my research of you, that stood out to me. Not only your content, your presence, your about page, your description on LinkedIn, that stood out to me, that's super clear for you, your why and why you do this. You want to share it with us?
No, thanks. Let me go back real quick with the other element is once you connect, make that trust and start building a plan that both of you are figuring out. Accountability, obviously, it is the next step. You have to be. It's not like here's the cheat. Go do things on your own. I'm very, very big on accountability and in ownership of the person, because we're in this together. And one of the things that carried me a lot during the military is that my soldiers were mine. They're mine. If anything happened, it's my responsibility. Yeah, they have a piece, but I'm responsible for the success and failure of whatever happens under me. So I was very, very big on accountability and ownership of individuals. If you were under my radar, oh my God, I had to make sure that you were good. 100%. Yeah. So just want to put that out there. And
self-ownership. I'm really all right. So the question I want to ask about self-ownership, I see it as a huge issue in today's business world. Of people not taking responsibility for their own actions. The finger's always pointed outwards. It was somebody else's fault, or somebody else's this, or, I couldn't do it because of this, and this. How do we get past that point of it being stigmatized or bad to take ownership for mistakes?
It is a practice, and you put it like it's hard because we
Yeah.
don't want to do wrong. We don't want to go. We don't want. You got to humble yourself and get to the point. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be practice. It has to be practice. And once we figure out that it is better when we accept and move on than spending unnecessary energy of trying to deflect the blame or whatever it is to others or away from the real cause of the problem. Unless we continue to practice that and getting humble enough to take ownership, but it's not going to change. It's going to be worse. So.
Yeah. Does it really come back to self-awareness, do you think, as a leader?
Yes. Yes. We all have blind spots, of
Yeah.
course. We think that we're doing things the right way, but there's someone over there watching and saying, what the hell is Fico doing?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is he doing XYZ? And Fico is
Yeah.
here, like, he's about to hit a wall. Geez, self-awareness is critical. That's the coach is your other set of eyes, your wife, your best friends, your
Yep.
support group. They're another set of eyes that you need to rely on and leverage when things are not going your way.
Oh, for sure. I have two people in my life. One in particular, when I ask him, well, how is this or how is that? Or can I get your feedback on something? I'm already prepared that it's going to be negative. Even if I think I did a great job, he has the uncanny ability of showing where it could have been better. And that's an unbelievable gift in a relationship, whether it's with your coach or your business bestie. And I think having that makes you better as a leader. So coaching makes you better as a leader, consulting, mentorship, having a business bestie who will actually do that for you. What has that meant in your career? Not just your coaching career, but all the way along your journey. What has that meant getting that feedback so that you can improve?
Yeah, it brings a set of calmness. When you are struggling to things are not going your way. You have this perfect storm about to happen, and you got individuals that basically have your back,
Yep.
regardless, and tell it like it is.
Yeah.
That is essential, but tell it like it is with love, not tell it like it is to bash you or kick you or stump you. There's a
Right.
big difference. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
It means everything when someone says I got your back, and
Mhm.
if they truly do, it just brings a level of peace that I cannot explain. In
Yeah.
the military, I had an individual. I have individuals that were my right field people that when they said, "Sir, I got it," I was able to sleep well. But
Mm.
all the individuals said, "Sir, I got it." I slept with one
Mm.
night waiting
Yeah.
for the phone to ring.
Yeah.
I got PTSD of my ringtone when I was a commander.
I believe it.
Oh my goodness.
You
This
don't
is
use that ringtone anymore, do you?
Oh, it doesn't exist. It's
Okay.
all the way. I'm not gonna say it now, but it's still in my head. It's still in my head every time I bring it up. It brings me back to Germany and like, oh my goodness, no.
Yep. Yeah.
It's almost midnight. Why is this ringing? No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think the most powerful question we can ask ourselves is how can I do better? What does
Yeah.
that look like for you right now? How can you do better? And what are you currently working on?
So How can I do better?
Yeah.
It's a daily thing. Every day you gotta find something that opportunities for growth and
Mm,
learning experience. That's how you do better.
love
People think that uh, that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If
it.
it ain't broke, how we can make it better? That's
Yeah.
how it should be.
Yeah.
Always, always. So always looking for opportunity for growth. Always learning. Always reading something. Um, and then it will give you a little bit of a lift in the expertise that you are pursuing. So,
Love
yeah.
it. Perfect outlook. What are you currently working on in your business and how can we support you?
So the first thing I'm working on is on myself. Okay. So
Nice.
self
And
development.
nice answer.
Well, yeah, self development, getting certifications. I'm pursuing a program management certification. So that's going to be a while. And it's a tough certification, but I'm pursuing that. So it opened up doors for other opportunities.
Hmm.
Um, I'm also have my business registered as a disabled veteran. So that is a great plus. So that I can compete for government contracts and other things. So I'm
Beautiful.
looking into those things and looking for opportunities into leadership and development that organizations are looking for. So you can find me on the social media. It's easy at Federico Martinez. That's for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I also have a LinkedIn account, Federico Martinez without the dot. So you
Okay.
can find me there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I didn't know you had a TikTok account. So,
It is. I have a TikTok, I retired December 2022.
okay.
When I retired, I didn't have a TikTok. I didn't have an Instagram. I was on LinkedIn with about 150 followers, and in Facebook, I have like under 600 people and I'm building it up little
You
by
are.
little.
You
So
are.
yeah.
You
So
are.
now I do have
I
a
see
TikTok.
that. I see that. But all right, I'm going to find you on TikTok and I will make sure to come back and share all of your links in the comments here of this live video. Thank you so much
No,
for
thank you
having
so
this
much.
conversation today. I appreciate you and can't wait to see where this takes you.
No, thank you so much for the opportunity to speaking to your audience. I know someone's going to benefit from this conversation, and
Yeah.
yeah, blessed to be here. Happy 5th of July. I didn't mention about my little rooster right here.
Oh,
Puerto Rico, rooster, we call it gallito. Rooster is very ruthless. They don't give up. They're always, it's illegal. Cockfighting is illegal, but Puerto Rico is
yeah.
still supposed to do it. And when you see them fight, they fight to the end, till death. They
Wow.
don't take a step back. And we're very proud of calling ourselves gallitos. So when things go tough, they just keep pushing forward, you take a knee and then figure it out and come through victorious at the end of the day. So yeah, thank you
Well,
for the opportunity once again, and love it.
thank you again. Appreciate you. All right, everyone. That's it for our episode today. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in to another empowering episode of Unlock Your Way. I hope you found today's discussion inspiring and you're ready to take your business and personal growth to that next level. If you're feeling as fired up as I am and eager to unlock that full potential, I'm here to help you on your journey and provide that personalized guidance tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Simply book a one-on-one coaching call with me and we'll dive deep into your business aspirations and see how we could co-create a roadmap for your success. And whether you're striving to scale an enterprise or just getting started, I'm here to support you every step of the way. To schedule your coaching call, simply visit the website at unlockyourwaywithstk.com, click on the Book a Call button, and we'll turn your dreams into that reality. Subscribe and review on your favorite podcast platform and on YouTube. Plus, you can join over 800 entrepreneurs in the Idea Lab Facebook group. Let's make success as an entrepreneur happen together. Until next time, I'm STK. Keep dreaming big, stay focused, and most of all, have fun while you're doing it.